You can support this show at patreon.com/ASAPodcasting. And welcome back to the Skyrim Addict podcast. I am Michael. I'm joined by Ray.
Hello.
And Victor.
Good evening.
And I think Juan is homesteading currently, last I saw.
If he can tear himself away from the chickens.
Yeah, he's got a whole homestead going.
And if he can find the chat, because I keep renaming it.
I was wondering what happened there.
This phone, more than any other phone I've ever had, I had more false taps. Like when I started recording just my background audio, as a live call, it was a few weeks ago. I have no idea how I managed that. It's just like, it's probably because I don't have it in the right kind of case or something.
Gotcha.
Put it in my back pocket and something happens. I don't know. Anyway, I unnamed it. I see you renamed it back to what it was.
I only did that so I knew what it was.
Yeah, thank you.
Because otherwise I'd be like, I have no idea what this is.
Yeah.
Let's see.
I just go by the pictures.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
That's a good idea. Yeah. So we're gonna do something a little different. Get a little organized, maybe. We're gonna start off with Skyrim stuff, and then go to other games. Since we all play other stuff as well.
Yeah.
Beyond the Skyrim, Fallout, No Man's Sky universe. Let's see. So last time we had talked, Ray, you were doing the Cannibal Green Pact play.
Yeah.
Which inspired me to start Green Pact characters. Well, because I had never played one. So
it's not easy to do, is it?
It is. I mean,
how many times have you picked Blue Mountain flowers?
I came very close. I came very, very close. I started with the because I did Live Another Life. So the one is the one where you're a hunter in the woods, hunter gatherer or something in the woods. So you're basically near Helgen. I think it starts you out. And I'm running up the hill, and then there's like flowers in front of me, and I'm like, no. Like can't pick them. No. So yeah, it's it completely changes your mindset of what you normally do, or at least what I normally do to start off anyway. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I had it Hunterborn, and I think I have I need in there just because I'm like, well, if I'm going to be using the animals, then I need to use the animals or people for that matter.
Yeah, Hunterborn's great for that.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. So I was like, well, this will like pick it up a little bit. And for the house, there was a mod for a Green Pact house. I forget what it was called exactly. I would have to look it up. But so I guess it's made of like furs and bone and stuff like that. I haven't gotten to that yet. I'm like super early on, just like basically leaving Helgen and killing a few things and hunting a little bit and stuff like that. So I'm not like far into it or anything like that. So, but no, your cannibalism character definitely inspired me to do it that way.
Yeah, I've been having a really hard time remembering to put on the ring and the mirror so that I can eat people.
That's right.
Because I don't keep the ring on all the time because I need magic protections because I've got nothing. So I have a ring of resist magic that I wear, and you don't eat every person you come across because it does weird things with the buff. And you can actually, if you are too close to death and you eat two people in a row, you can actually kill yourself. Because of the way that the ring applies the benefit that you get. It actually takes something away first, which is it takes away some of your health. Typically you wouldn't notice it, but if you've been in a battle and you're on the edge of dying, and you eat, you have the buff, and then you eat somebody else, before the time is up, it takes away, the bonus that you had. And so if your life was depending on that bonus being there, when it takes it away, it can kill you.
Oh, interesting.
And then, then it reapplies it, but because it takes it away first, then, if that was the only 50 points of health you had left, then sayonara.
That's a little rough.
I think I've only gone through that quest line once. The what's her name? Iola, I think.
Oh yeah.
At least I've only gone through the whole thing, and actually I think I married her as well. I don't remember which character that goes back several years.
Yeah, she can be a follower, I think.
Yep.
Oh, can she?
She's marriable. Yep.
Yeah. But so I did that right after. So I'm playing vanilla, which has been really weird. And so as soon as I left Helgen, went to Riverwood, got the quest to go talk to the Jarl, went to Whiterun, hopped a carriage, went straight to Markarth.
Oh, nice.
And started that Numeric quest.
Yeah, that's what my plan was, kind of do the same thing, head out that way. I kind of started wandering across the plains on my way there. But obviously with, doing it in basically a survival mode, I'm going slow. Because I've never really, I think it's very few times I've used the Ring of Numera.
I don't even remember what the buff is.
Health regen.
Oh, is it?
So you get health recovery, and health regen
when you eat human flesh, or
yeah. I also I've been trying to play two-handed.
Oh,
but I have a bow to hunt, deer and stuff like that with, and so it's really easy to slip into,
sneaky
I'll
archer.
just shoot that guy with the arrow.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with that, honestly. I mean, it's like when would a normal warrior just sort of dash in with his two-handed weapon and into any situation without
softening everybody up first.
Yeah, realistically speaking, it's like,
but I know if I don't, then I'll just do archery all the time.
Yeah,
then I'll start sneaking and arching.
Yeah.
And
that's true.
Next thing you know, I'm a sneaky archer.
Yeah. You're always everyone's a sneaky archer in Skyrim, no matter what.
It's funny how you get there, no matter what path you take.
Yeah.
I do like how you break it up with that, though, with the two-handed and then just using the archery for hunting. Basically, it's a good way to do it.
Yeah, it's been fun. It's an interesting character. So I wanted to get dragon bone armor. So I've been, working on my smithing, but, it's been kind of slow. And so I had read about the quest Bones for a Crow, which is one of the Creation Club quests. And the reward is now I can't remember what the enchantment is, but there's an enchanted dragon plate armor set.
Oh,
that you can pick up at the end of the of that quest, and it was kind of tough, and I couldn't figure out how to get to the location of kind of the middle of the quest, and it's just outside of the Darklight Tower, wherever you pick up Ilya.
Oh yeah,
Darklight Tower.
Yep.
Yeah.
And so I couldn't figure out how to get up there except to go through that quest. So I went through that quest, And so I ended up, having Ilya as a follower, which was a good thing because the fight that you have at that point is pretty tough.
She's a powerful follower.
Yeah, she's a great follower.
Yeah.
So eventually we managed to get through. I got my dragon plate armor and still have Ilya as a follower.
So you have to go through Arcwind Point to get there. Is that what it is? To get to the tower?
Darklight, is it there? It's sort of,
well,
it's on the road out of Ripton.
Yeah, it says
south there.
You find the Crow's Tooth camp near Darklight Tower, but then you have to travel to Arcwind Point.
Well, I think that's probably the other way that you can go.
Oh, okay.
The way that doesn't require you to go through Darklight Tower.
Oh yeah, you went all the way through and out the back end.
I couldn't find it. I kept going around the mountain. I couldn't find any place to get through. So I just went through Darklight Tower.
Yeah, because when you go into that final courtyard area, you can then exit essentially out the back of the complex. Yeah, that's a good point.
And then you're right there.
Yeah. Okay.
Their little camp is just right outside.
Right outside it. Okay, that makes sense. Oh, that's a pretty good
But it's a handful of Forsworn and a Hagraven.
Dragonbone mail, dragon plate, insulated boots, insulated gauntlets.
And once you get done with that fight, then it sends you to another location, to find the final battle with the people that have the armor.
Oh, gotcha.
And that's a bunch of Draugr and a Khajiit and another Forsworn.
Oh, gotcha. I must have played that one because I'm pretty sure I did all the Creation Club ones, and I do remember insulated dragon plate. So I must have played it when it came out.
Yeah,
I've been trying out different newly uploaded Wabbajack mod lists, but none of them, for some reason, I don't know why I guess people don't like I Need, and they don't seem to like Hunterborn either. Perhaps they're just not stable enough, but none of them have either of those. So they all have survival, which I really hate, frankly.
Yeah.
But I'm playing one now called Septimus, which is a Legacy of the Dragonborn based huge mod list, like 1,500 mods. It's pretty good. It's very stable. Couple of weird little glitches, but nothing major. But it's still based on survival, and I think Adamant. I think it uses Adamant as its perk overall. But all of them have the Creation Club stuff.
Yeah, added into it now.
Yeah, they all have an option for Creation Club or not.
Okay.
So they have a mod organizer profile for one or the other.
Yeah, because once Anniversary Edition came out, it opened it up. If you got it new or upgraded, they were all in there. So
yeah, it took a while for the mod list to catch up to that.
Yeah.
So if we're going to do a Saints and Seducers with Green Pact, or just Saints and Seducers, regardless of how you're playing your character?
I just think however you're playing your character. Yeah.
All right. Well, maybe I'll just leave it alone then. I was going to sort of recreate my own mod list.
There you go. Yeah, looking at it, it looks like it's just 2 quests, Saints and Seducers.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
Not an extensive playthrough will be done. Not weeks of playthrough there.
Yeah.
So I came across a random spot where they are.
Oh, with the thing in the cage.
A set of bandits.
Yeah.
From there, and they were pretty badass.
Yeah.
They are.
Yeah.
Is that Saints and Seducers? Okay, so there's one camp that's right near Fort Castaff or whatever it is. They're up between Windhelm and Winterhold. There's a camp there.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there's another camp down past Solitude, I think.
And they have like something in a cage basically that they're guarding, I think.
I don't remember. I just remember getting my ass kicked.
Yeah. It should be fun at a low level.
With the Septimus 3 mod list that I'm using, everything kicks my ass. I'm still at level 6 or 7, and it's just like, yeah. There's all kinds of combat mods and everything else in there.
Yeah, I'm really low level, and so that's gonna be interesting when I get there. How that's going. I haven't really developed a play style yet, like a combat style yet. I really don't want to lean too heavy on archery because it's just so like I do it every time. I mean, I will probably, but I don't know. I was thinking about doing some necromancy. I don't know. I don't know how that works with the Green Pact. I'm not sure. I was watching was it a Fudge Muppet video on a Green Pact necromancer, maybe. So I was kind of thinking about that, but I'm like, I don't know. I haven't quite figured out what the combat end of it's going to be outside of the hunting part I've been doing.
There's another Green Pact. You can do just about anything you want to a humanoid or an animal.
That's true.
You just can't mess with the trees or the plants.
Yeah,
I think if you read up on Green Pact and some of the more extensive lore, is it really quite that rigid? I thought there was lots of wiggle room in the Green Pact. It's not.
I think it's so there. Just like any other, religion, I guess, would be the closest thing to it. There's the liberal and the
orthodox,
strict, sense of it.
That would make sense, and even in within that world, you would have the same thing.
All right, well, I'm gonna be a liberal Green Pacter then.
Some plants and flowers.
Yeah.
It's like
especially Blue Mountain flowers.
Yeah,
absolutely.
It's like a vegetarian who eats fish.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, yeah. It is still really hard not to pick the flower. I am so used to it, and then like even simple things like making arrows. I'm like, I got to do that a different way through Hunterborn now, which was another reason why I added the other stuff because obviously you can't use the wood, so it was like, all right, switch and do it a different way. Can't use the firewood to make arrows and all that if I want to do that. So yeah, that was kind of another. Also, I haven't played with it for a little bit, so I was like, it kind of changed things up a bit.
Yeah, I initially was bouncing between a couple of different characters, and so there it definitely got hard then to remember. I would pop into this one, not to, because one of them was just. I mean, I was picking everything.
From everything to nothing. That makes a big difference. I have to look and see if I can find that. I got to see where the house is at that I grabbed for that character. I'm interested to see what it looks like. It's really the only house I can, I guess, use in the game as being a kind of hardline Green Pact, and then I guess I'll just wander the countryside in general, staying awake all night like usually.
I took Hinderheim.
Oh, there you go.
I like Hinderheim.
Me too.
That's great.
And so I killed the warrior, and then ate her, and then put her armor on one of the displays.
Oh, nice.
And
that's a good way to do it.
I honored her death
properly. Oh gosh. So I've been posting the Dragonborn DLC roundtables. I ran into a snag trying to find episode 2. I couldn't find like episodes 2 through 5 of it.
Wow.
So I think I have found them. So that will resume being posted since they're not on the feed anymore. I went to look and I'm like, they're not where I thought they were. There's like number 6 and then there's number 2 and there's number 1 and number 6 and I'm like, there's a few missing. I gotta see. I gotta look around. I think they're around somewhere, but they were not where I thought I was going to be locating it. So I ran into that issue this week.
Stuck on some old laptop somewhere.
That's very possible. I still have my old laptop downstairs in a box, so They could be on there still, but I'm pretty sure I found those few missing episodes. So I just want to get all the round tables back up that are missing from the feed currently, so they're all back in existence. So bounce the audio on them a little bit too, just to even level everything out and buzz through them a little bit. But yeah, those will resume being. Also, I gotta look and see if I finally reposted all the Let's Play Skyrims on their feed. There's a feed for Let's Play Skyrim, so if you're looking for that, that is up there as well. But it's on a separate feed called Let's Play Skyrim. Any other Elder Scrolls stuff we got?
Just texted, said sorry he can't make it. So
I figured he was busy out in the yard. He's got a whole thing going. It's pretty awesome following along with it. I love seeing it.
Yeah,
you can follow. I think it's was it Diaz Urban Homestead? Yes, it's Diaz Urban Homestead on
cool.
on Instagram if you want to follow along with that.
Yeah,
some great photos of the stuff they're growing and the chickens, and it's pretty awesome. Yeah, so next time, Elder Scrolls wise, we'll get into Saints and Seducers.
Okay. Yeah, good.
But so I think going forward, we'll probably have a end segment of the show or whatever, or maybe it'll be another show. Who knows? Right now, it'll be the end segment of the show. We'll figure that out later. So it'll just be for the other games we're playing.
Cool.
I came up with a title because we're all elder gamers. So
I like it.
Works for me.
I was like, that kind of works. It's kind of appropriate. But so we've all, Ray's got Far Cry, got some Minecraft, some other stuff. Victor's got a bunch of stuff. So whoever wants to.
Well, I'm curious. I want to hear. It was Far Cry 5 new to you, Ray? Or
yeah, this was the first Far Cry game I played.
Oh, wow.
And yeah, I was just cruising through Steam, and I remember you had mentioned it quite a while back. And I thought, well, you know what? It's not easy to find first person games.
Yeah.
True.
And
good ones.
Yeah, good ones. And so I thought, I'll give it a try. And I've been loving it.
Yeah,
it's
so good.
Yeah, it's gorgeous scenery. You know, it's set in Montana. And so I started chewing through it and finally finished it up.
Oh, wow. Good for you.
You finished it. Oh, nice.
Yeah. You know, I was a little disappointed in the alternatives for ending the game.
Yeah.
But it was still just, such a fun game to play. And so now I'm just hunting and fishing.
It really is. It's not really quite a complete open world game where you can sort of just wander anywhere and do whatever you want, but it does have some really good modules like that. The hunting and fishing is super fun. Yeah. So I found some of the side mission stuff, like I forget the what it's called, where you have to fly the plane a lot. Some of those are really, because the controls are a little janky.
Oh yeah, the one where where it's like a challenge run, you have to
runs, right? You got to fly through smoke rings and stuff like that. Yeah. Some of those were really janky, but other than that, the story flows really well when you go through the 3 different areas of Joshua's or whatever. I can't remember all their names. It's been a while now, and it really is. And Far Cry is always. If you liked 5, you should go and try Far Cry 3, and it's set on a sort of a jungle island. It's really, really good. And they all have the same sort of basic, almost Ubisoft kind of, standard, you gotta take the camp, and shut off the speakers or whatever. And so there's really great stealth and really good gunplay, and they're just such good games. So much fun. Until Far Cry 6. I'm sorry. It sucks. I just hate it.
Oh man.
I just hate it. I'm sorry to hate on it, because what's his name? Pollos Hermanos. What's his name? Like the actor. Yeah.
Oof. God, it's on the tip of my tongue.
Yeah, he was so good, and he's one of the main characters in the game. Anyway, it just I bounced off it hard, so I may try to go back to it.
It's kind of interesting how, so I did take a peek at Far Cry 6 to see if it was somewhere the next progression that I wanted to do, but the voice actor for the main characters, the characters look exactly like the person that's doing the voice acting.
Yeah,
it's pretty uncanny.
Is it? Okay. Yeah.
Oh, it's Giancarlo Esposito.
Giancarlo Esposito. That's right. Yeah. Well, they made him. He looks like Giancarlo Esposito.
Oh, really? Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't know about any of the earlier ones, but I know 5 and 6 are definitely, just absolutely spitting images of the actors.
Oh, wow. I never looked that up. Huh. Well, 3, I thought 3 was great. 4 was okay. And the first 2 they're old. I played the first Far Cry back in 2003 or something like that. It was a long time ago. And they were good games, but anyway, yeah. It's definitely one of my favorite game series of all time. So,
yeah, I saw it on Game Pass this morning before I knew Ray had played it, and I'm like, oh man, I gotta add that.
Yeah, if you have Game Pass, it's a no-brainer. It's just grab it.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna add that.
I picked it up on Steam for $11.
Oh, hell yeah. That's even cheaper than Game Pass.
It is. It actually is.
Yeah. I got. And I definitely got my money's worth out of it.
So far.
I've only had it for 2 weeks.
Wow, you played through it fast. Holy crap.
Wow, 2 weeks. Damn.
Took me a while to play through it. Yeah.
Nice.
Well,
of course, I'm not
6 8-hour game sessions. You can get through games pretty quick.
Yeah.
And those are on the days that I also, have been playing, No Man's Sky and Skyrim and Fallout.
Oh man. I played. I did pick up a little game, Dodgeball Academia, on also on Game Pass. It's a little simple RPG. I've only played a little bit of it, where you go to an academy to be the most amazing dodgeball player ever.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's kind of like an indie RPG kind of thing. Really fun. So I'll probably play around with that.
That sounds like fun.
Yeah, it's just like a real simple game, but it looks fun.
Do you get to be Ben Stiller?
Oh, that would be amazing, wouldn't it? With the mustache and the head. Yeah. But I've been deep into Minecraft, especially with the new update.
What do you think? I was playing a lot of Minecraft with my grandkids before the 1.19.
Yeah.
So I'm really curious to hear what you think of the new update.
Man, I started finally finding some of the really new stuff, and like the depth, how deep it goes now is pretty incredible. And also, I didn't know that there were like lost cities or ruins of lost cities underground now.
Oh wow!
But only in certain biomes.
Okay.
So I have to go find my first one now. They're under mountains in like forest tundra biomes or whatever they're called, where it's snowy and mountainous, but they're under the mountains generally. Okay. So I have to go there, see if I can find that, because I've been exploring. I hopped back into I had done a new playthrough and then started wandering and died like 4 times. So then I just went back to an old game old world I'd been playing that's like incredibly built up, where like I have a train running between cities and or my original encampment and the village I built up, and there's probably like 30 villagers in the village now because I've just like built giant buildings for them to live in and stuff like that, and I walled it off. But so now I go exploring and all. There's a lot of shipwrecks, which are awesome, and you get treasure maps in those.
We went exploring in the mangrove biome,
or
whatever it's called. Yeah. My the two grandkids that play Minecraft a lot, they're 10 and 8. My grandson's 10, my granddaughter's 8. And they're like bouncing around and climbing the trees and going up these 100-foot tall waterfalls. Mean, I can't do that. They're funny.
Yeah, there's these like really lush underground areas now with glowing, like a glowing fruit that lights it up in there with moss and things like that.
Yes.
But, yeah. The city is what I want to find, the underground, the abandoned cities underground.
Well, the glowing vines were before 1.9.
I think they were, but I think I had missed that update because I hadn't played in a little while, basically.
Yeah.
So this one, and then obviously I think the shipwrecks might have been a little older also. There was like an underwater update like last year or the year before, so they were there. But yeah, no, I've been having fun exploring with that with that character, and now like I have a mission of what I want to find. So, but I don't want to lose any of my gear because I have really good gear on this character that's all enchanted up and diamond and everything. So,
oh, nice.
I shouldn't die.
One thing I found with the limited amount I played in 1.9, as opposed to 1.8. First of all, they've changed the levels of where things spawn. So diamonds are, I forget where they are, but they're different level now.
It used to be like 0 to 13 or something like that, and now it's like I think the most likely level is -59.
Something like that, yeah. I went and I hit bedrock, and I still hadn't found diamonds in some spots. So I was like, "Wow, this is it seems a little," but that's as far as we got. Then summer hit, and they're not playing so much anymore, and I went on to other things. So I haven't. I'd like to explore it some more though. It's so we get on with Auntie, my daughter, and their auntie, and the four of us play. Of course, they can't get on Discord, so we have to make phone calls and have the phones propped up.
Oh man,
they're funny.
That's good.
They help each other out. So it's so fun to watch the two of them. They're really close. They're really tight, brother and sister. So and they'll help each other out and go rescue the other one if something happens. It's fun to watch. They're cool.
Yeah, I'm having fun, and I'm also like remembering what I was doing because I was still building this village up. So I was like, oh yeah, I was working on this over here, like cleaning it up and securing it. Like I've built walls around the entire thing, so no enemies can get in. Everything's lit up all around it, so the village never gets attacked. But no zombies spawn in the village ever.
The closest I've ever come to playing Minecraft is there's a cave in Borderlands 2 that you go into. It's a Minecraft level.
Yeah, I've heard of that. I've never played it, but I've heard it.
We had
I've never played that section of Borderlands. Yeah,
we had a Minecraft realm with the Fallout pack on it with a bunch of people
when
in it.
Everybody was playing that.
Yeah. When was it? It might have been. Was it before? Before something came out. We were waiting for something. I don't remember what it was.
That's the first time I ever played Minecraft, which is just about a little less than 10 years ago now. The first thing I ever did to it was put the Skyrim pack.
Oh, yeah.
And it was fun, but
yeah.
Minecraft has come so far in the last
since
10
then.
Years.
Oh god,
not the same game at all.
No, it's so much more in depth now.
It really is fun. It is a lot of fun. So and I'm sort of looking forward to playing it. Now, I don't want to. Don't want anybody to get nervous to see what I'm doing in my lap here. But I don't want to bury the lead. But for those who are listening to this on audio, not watching any video, I have just opened something, and there is now a bright golden glow emanating from my lap here. So this is the new baby here.
Oh,
that's the Steam Deck.
Nice.
And I haven't had a chance to play with it a whole lot, but it is very slick piece of hardware. It truly is. It's so seamless. It weighs about a pound, which isn't, but it just, I have relatively small hands, but the layout is just super nice. And they've moved. You can see they moved the D-pad to the outside of the stick, and the X, the ABXY to the outside of the stick instead of diagonally. And then there's little sort of haptic touch pads below the sticks that work. And then on the back, you got your standard, triggers, buttons, and then you have 2 more programmable buttons on each side on the back. It has a built-in speaker. It's got a super nice screen. It's a freaking awesome. It really is. It's amazing. And it plays, if you look on Steam now, any game you happen to look at, you'll notice there's little new icons. There's either like a yellow exclamation point or a green something or other that'll tell you whether the game is, not approved, but known to play well on the deck, or plays but isn't perfect on the Steam Deck.
Oh, gotcha.
So Skyrim, unfortunately, there's a few things about Skyrim that are a little janky with it, but generally speaking, it works well. You can almost play anything on it, but there's a lot of games that are now specifically known to be perfect on the Steam Deck. Unfortunately, none of the games that I have been playing lately work on the Steam Deck all that well. So, but anyway, I wanted to show that off. It's a great piece of hardware. Anybody who's thinking about getting one, I highly recommend it. It's really well made. I have been playing several games, and I have to sort of make a slight disclaimer here. I've played them all a bit or more than a bit, but not deeply.
A lot, yeah.
Okay. So except for V Rising, I've played a fair amount of, and they're all, I guess, Deathloop. So Deathloop, Raft, V Rising, and Imperial. Of the 4, 3 of them are early access.
Okay.
And although Raft, I think, has gone into the sort of 1.0 version. Deathloop is Arcane's latest game. So if you like Arcane games, I think you might like Deathloop. It's a lot of fun. It's snarky. It's very slick. It's super smooth first-person shooter in the sort of Groundhog Day style. So it's a kind of a roguelike. The writing is good. It's a lot of good banter. You're in a world where the whole idea of being killed and resurrected in a la gaming has become a way of life, basically, for the people that live there. And you're a character named Colt who's trying to break out of that and break the loop. So all kinds of things ensue from there. It's the gameplay there's a lot of stealth. There's a lot of good shooting. It's relatively easy, but it's a beautifully made world. It's gorgeous world building in there, which Arcane does a really good job with that. I think us have probably played Dishonored and Dishonored 2 and various games like that. They're really good. They really, and so there's a lot of that DNA there. So it just plays well, and it's like any good roguelike that makes you want to go back and replay the level instead of getting super frustrated and just rage quitting. So it's a lot of fun to play. It's not expensive. I think it's only like a $27-$30 game or something like that. I'm not sure if it's on one of the streaming services or not. Is it on Game Pass?
I'm not sure. I might be, because wasn't it like I remember seeing the trailers for it.
Yeah, it might be on Game Pass. If it's on Game Pass and you have that, then absolutely check
Definitely
it out.
Definitely worth it.
It's a lot of fun. It really is. And I've been sort of pecking away at it. And it really is a lot of fun. You can die pretty easily. So that's Raft and V Rising. What do I say about these? They're great co-op games. Okay, so that's the first thing I say. They're both good games, but I found that they're a heck of a lot more fun to play truly co-op. So I play them with Kate and Sean, but I've tried playing both of them alone, and V Rising is a sort of it's a vampire game for anybody who wants to know. It's got beautiful graphics, good vampire mechanics where you can hide from the sun, and all kinds of interesting twists on when the sun rises and sets and what kind of moons you get and so on. But it has that. I don't know, you guys, how much you've played games like League of Legends or others of that sort of isometric top down, where the right mouse button is your camera. You got to hold the right mouse button down to move your camera. It fucking drives me crazy because I'm just not used to that. I didn't play a lot of those games, so I don't have that muscle memory. And then, of course, I get used to it after playing it for a few hours. I go back to another game and I fuck it up because so anyway, rant over. Other than that, V Rising is a lot of fun until you try to play it alone. And when you're trying to take down one of the bosses, there's 15 bosses in the game that are increasingly more difficult. You're trying to take one of these bosses down, and you get the boss down about 2/3. It's a really hard battle. You've got all your mechanics correct, and your health level is getting down, and you duck around the corner to take a potion or whatever. You haven't even gone very far from the boss. He's right there. You duck around the corner, take a potion, you come back around the corner, and the boss is regen all itself. I'm sorry. It's like, that's a rage quit. And whereas if you're playing co-op, you have enough people, everybody can play and you can take these bosses down. It's not so bad. So that game I'd say is a definite co-op game. It's a lot of fun. It's got some very cool stuff in it. A lot of interesting building mechanics. Not really like Valheim. I know people have compared it to Valheim, but it really isn't. But it's a lot of fun to upgrade your castle and build, all the crafting stations and stuff that you can build with it. It's got a lot of cool stuff in there. It's a good game. I highly recommend it, but play it co-op. Raft, same thing. Raft is difficult as a single player. It's a lot of fun. You're on a raft at sea. There's a shark that's out to get you. And you collect stuff that's floating by. You collect plastic and wood and stuff to make string and rope and food, and you find islands and you keep collecting things. And there is a story to Raft too. It's as you progress in the game starts to generate more story specific islands and things like that. So also a good game, but a game that really is best played co-op. And other than those, I've played a little bit of Imperial. Have you guys played Satisfactory at all?
No, I haven't.
It's like a beautiful 3D Factorio.
Oh.
It's really, really pretty, really nice. A lot of fun to play. So I won't say any more about it. Imperial is planet. I guess it's like with the guru of No Man's Sky here. I don't want to compare it to No Man's Sky because it really isn't that comparable, but it's similar in some ways, where you land on a planet and you do stuff there. I haven't gotten even past that. It's a pretty game, it's cheap. I'd say it's worth checking it out, but those two I haven't played with enough. But V Rising, Raft, Deathloop, all good recommendations. I think they're all great games.
Speaking of No Man's Sky, what is going on over there? New expedition or?
Not released yet. So we're just wrapping up the Expedition 7.
Mm-hmm.
Today's the last day. And so then it'll be the building of the anticipation and the speculation of, what's going to be the next update.
Oh, gotcha.
That should kick into high gear tomorrow morning because, the expedition will be completely done. And so then everybody will have nothing to do except
speculate.
Wait for the update.
Gamers never speculate. What are you talking about?
Yeah, never heard that before.
Yeah.
This was a really tough expedition. Completely different than all the others because it is so it's permadeath / survival mode. If it, more on the survival side. So in survival mode, if you die, you lose all your stuff. So in this expedition, not only did you lose all your stuff, but you lost all of your progression.
Oh.
And you start all the way back at the beginning.
Ouch.
And so it definitely was not everybody's cup of tea, but but it was definitely fun, especially for people who do spend a lot of time playing permadeath. So one of my co-hosts, Wasteland Baker, it wasn't hard enough for him. So he decided to play it with no upgrades whatsoever. So he got through it that way. And it just crazy. So,
oh my God.
So he just nothing but the, his starting equipment. Wow. And, no ship improvements, no multi-tool improvements.
Oh man.
And so he made it through that way. There were times where he was regretting his decisions.
Oh God.
But, he still managed to get through it. So that was fun.
And Fallout feed, where are you guys at now?
So we've threatened so many times to do the New Vegas DLC.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
But we've never been able to commit to it. So we're working on a plan now to make little mini roundtables to do the DLC for New Vegas. So we'll see how that goes.
Is that the one that's far out?
There's a couple of different ones.
Yeah.
That, some wacky ones, some just, one's a kind of a horror type.
Oh yeah.
Where if you get too close to the radio, you blow up. We'll see how that goes. And Andrew's threatening to do the Fallout Shelter roundtable.
Oh God.
And so it's all my fault because picked up one of my tablets and had a little bit of time to spare.
Oh no.
And so I started poking around on the tablet and saw that I had Fallout Shelter loaded on it, and I hadn't played since it came out. And so I thought, what the heck? Let me see what what it's like. And so I started playing it. Well, I mentioned it in my gameplay on the show.
No.
And just lit a fire under Andrew like nobody's business. And so now he's playing that more than he's playing anything.
Oh, wow.
And so so I played it for about 2 or 3 days and then quit. But he's been playing it for 2 or 3 months now.
He always loved that game, didn't he?
He did love it
from the very beginning.
Yeah.
Well, next time we will, on the Skyrim part of the show, we'll get into Saints and Seducers and whatever else. Who knows if we'll all have the same characters going at that point. I feel like that's an ever-changing...
Yeah. So as long as I play this particular character, I'm going to keep mods out. But I'm chomping at the bit to get back into mods.
Get back to modding. Yeah.
Because you definitely... So outside of the first, where you have to play for 5 minutes to get all the game files set up.
Oh, yeah.
So that then you can load your mod organizer and load all your mods on.
Where's that?
When you first played any game for the first time. So the first time I played Skyrim, after Andrew convinced me to play it, that was the only time that I've ever played Skyrim vanilla before. So I've always played it modded, since that very first, file setup.
Yeah. I mean, you don't even have to play it at all. You just have to set you only have to launch the launcher and set your video quality and then close the game. That's the only thing you need to do. They don't even need to play the game, because all you need to do is get your two INI files established in the documents my games directory. That mod organizer needs to know where that is. It doesn't even use those though. It just uses its own stuff.
The Nexus mod manager told me that I needed to, start.
Yeah, maybe Nexus does, and maybe Vortex does too. I don't know.
Yeah, this was long before Vortex came along, but
yeah. And incidentally, if you ever decide to try Wabbajack, you really don't have to learn mod organizer either, because it just Wabbajack will install that all for you. All you have to do is click run in mod organizer. You don't even have to know how it works or want to. It's as long as the install goes well, and most of them do these days. They've really, really worked hard to make them as seamless as possible. Sean's tried a couple of them. He had one that went south, but most of them just work. Anyway,
so I don't know if I'll keep this guy around long enough to do this. We'll see.
Yeah, I can't guarantee that I will either. Maybe a different character, but I'll get there.
Cool.
All right, everyone. Thanks for listening, and also we'll do the other games again next time. Whatever else we're playing. I'll probably be playing Minecraft still, because I play in the morning before work. So, all right.
There's lots of cool stuff going out.
Yeah, and I definitely want to try Far Cry 5. That was high on the radar when I saw that pop on the screen. I was like,
it was fun.
That's definite. All right. Till next time. See you.
Bye-bye.